everybody, Simasic this here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today I ran to my local Target store, ended up picking myself up two pretty cool titles. Let's take a look at what I got. The first time I picked up for only $5 was the complete first season of Charles in Charge. Now this is a show I don't really remember too much about. I know when I was little I saw an episode here and there, but it wasn't really a show I necessarily grew up with. It wasn't a show that I really watched, but like I said, it was on TV when I was younger. So I do remember seeing a few episodes, but I figured for $5, I'll pick it up, check it out. If I don't like it, I only wasted $5. It's not that big of a deal, but from what I can remember, I did somewhat like the show. So for $5, figured I would definitely grab it just to check it out. And $5 for a full season, that's a great deal. And this is the only season that Universal put out. I looked it up online. All the rest of the seasons were put out by, I think it's like one of those low-budget DVD companies. So very cool to have this. Again, $5 at Target. If you're looking to get this title, I'd say pick it up. And the second time I picked up again for only $5 was The Outlaw, Josey Wells. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name right. J-O-S-E-Y. Josey. Sounds right to me, but if I'm wrong, let me know. But it seems to be a very cool title. It's a Clint Eastwood movie, both starring Clint Eastwood and directed by Clint Eastwood, so that there alone sounds awesome to me. I love Clint Eastwood movies. I have not seen a bad one yet. So far, they've all been fantastic. So for $5, definitely want to pick this out. I'm sure I'm going to love it. So that's what I bought today. So now it's what I watched. And today I checked out, as I'm sure you guys have probably already guessed, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, once again for my Indiana Jones Trilogy VHS box set. And again, the reason why I'm watching this on VHS is because I've been watching it while working on my shelves over at the new house. I decided to sit down and watch the entire original Indiana Jones trilogy. As far as Temple of Doom goes, it's a good movie. I like the movie. It's the movie I grew up with. Until I really started to collect movies, I really hadn't even seen Raiders of the Lost Ark or Last Crusade. I'd really only ever seen Temple of Doom because Temple of Doom is the Indiana Jones movie that plays on TV, on cable, constantly. That movie's just always on. At least it was when I was a kid. So I had seen that movie about 1,000 times growing up, and I really always enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good movie, but it wasn't until I saw the other two that I sort of realized it's definitely the weakest of the original trilogy. It just doesn't seem to fit, kind of. Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade, they have a very similar feel. You watch them and you just like, they have the same feel. One feels like a true sequel to the other. They feel like just one kind of movie, whereas Temple of Doom almost feels like kind of like just like a side quest. Like it doesn't quite fit in. It's kind of the black sheep of the original trilogy. It just sort of seems a little different somehow. But that being said, it is still a good movie. And even though I think personally it's the weakest out of all four movies, I actually really did like Crystal Skull. I know a lot of people didn't like Crystal Skull. I thought it was pretty good. It's something like my third favorite out of all four movies. So I would have to say Temple of Doom is probably the weakest in my opinion. The movie has some issues, but it's still a great Indiana Jones title, and by no means would I say don't see it. No, it's still a fantastic movie that, even though it's the weakest out of all four movies in my mind, it's like saying you got 4 bars of gold and the one that is a little bit lighter is the worst one. You'll still take them all. It's still a great movie that I would definitely recommend checking it out. Definitely some iconic stuff. I mean, just the scene of the bridge scene where Indiana Jones, you meet Holly in hell and he, chops the bridge. I mean, that's awesome. And the scene of them in the mine carts. I mean, that's also a classic scene. Indiana Jones getting his heart ripped. They're trying to rip his heart out. Just, there's a ton of classic, iconic scenes in this movie. Definitely classic, iconic Indiana Jones scenes that I'm sure we've all seen mimicked 1,000 times. So it is a great movie, as I've already said. It's definitely worth checking out, and I would highly recommend it. If you love Indiana Jones, definitely see it. But I'm sure most of you have seen it. I'm sure most people out there have seen it. I would be willing to bet that since, at least people my age, since it was on TV all the time, I'd be willing to bet there are a lot of people out there who have only ever seen Temple of Doom and probably haven't seen any of the other 3 movies. I would be willing to bet that's probably the case for a decent amount of people out there. So for any reason, if you haven't seen Temple of Doom, definitely check it out. But again, I'd recommend all 4 movies, especially the original trilogy. Definitely check them all out. It's Indiana Jones. It's classic. It's fantastic. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Definitely a good little haul from Target today, getting each of those titles for only $5, especially a full season of Charles in Charge. Like I said, I don't really remember the show too well, but for $5, figured I'd pick it up and check it out. And if you're looking for it, hey, run out to Target for $5. It's a good deal. Also watching Temple of Doom. Love it. It's Indiana Jones. You know, again, maybe the weakest out of all 4 movies in my mind, but it doesn't really matter. It's still a fantastic movie that I would definitely recommend. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya.